Let's talk about how to find products to sell on Amazon. This is one of the questions that I get very often is how do you decide what the first product you should sell should be? So I'll give you some pointers on this, but the best strategy that I could say that you could use for this is using a piece of software called Helium 10. I will give you like a longer tutorial on it as well coming up in just a couple of minutes here, but seeking low competition products. So for example, especially on your first product, if you think that you're going to sell pens or pencils and you're going to make a lot of money from that, the truth is, especially as an early seller, beginner, you're going to get crushed. And it's because it's just too mainstream of a product. You're competing with like Walmart and direct manufacturers in China who can manufacture it for 1 cent, and it's going to be really difficult to build a business off of a very generic product. So they always say the riches are in the niches or niches, and this is really true, especially for your first products. So what I recommend doing is you're going to want to find products that are selling, they're starting to heat up, but they're not things that are too crowded right now. So a great example of this would be 2 years ago, beef tallow, right? Beef tallow was something that wasn't really popular 2 or 3 years ago. I had a friend who saw that this beef tallow trend was starting to pick up. The interest was starting to increase a little bit on it, but it was still low volume. There weren't many people making it. And he found that opportunity. And you only find these opportunities once in a blue moon. Like, it's pretty rare. Maybe once every couple of months, you'll find a product where you say, wow, big opportunity here. And jumping on that is the important part. But he saw beef tallow starting to pick up, and he started his own beef tallow brand, which now he's doing, I don't want to share his numbers, but it's well into the millions of dollars per year that he's making from this beef tallow business because he caught the trend. And now it's really popular. Now there's a lot of people making it. There's probably, 100 or 200 different manufacturers of beef tallow now. But when he entered the market, he was one of the first ones. And so first mover advantage is something really huge. One of the best ways to spot trends is actually spending some time on TikTok, spending some time on social media, trying to really dig through the weeds on finding new products that are starting to gain some momentum. Definitely though, whatever you do, I recommend starting with one product. Don't try to just launch like 10 products all at once. This can be a disaster. Start with one, learn how it sells, see what went wrong, and then start to launch other products in the future once you have that first one locked down and it's either cash flowing or you decide to abandon it and move on to a different product because maybe it's just not a good one, right? But start with one definitely so that you don't get lost in the sea of selling on Amazon when you have 10 things all at once, because it gets complicated pretty quickly.